If you want a crash course in the pitfalls of celebrity, the tell-all memoir Britney Spears released a few days ago is a must-read. It's a confronting account of a tortured pop star. Looking back, the young woman, once known as America's sweetheart, says she was hounded, exploited and humiliated by almost everyone she came into contact with, including her family, friends and lovers. Revealing the darker side of her life's battle has hopefully been a liberating experience for Britney, and even more importantly, a chance to hit the reset button on her many years of turbulence. The melodrama of Britney Spears is a cautionary tale.
It's bad.
About the tormented life of a celebrity. Be careful what you wish for.
I'm sad.
Getting in the back, Ben.
I think that's really, really easy to dehumanize a famous person, right? They're sort of like animals in a zoo. We love to look at them. We like to watch them, do what they do best, and then we like to watch them fall. And we want to be the ones who decide whether or not they get picked up again.
The world has watched with a weird fascination the meteoric rise and even more turbulent fall of Britney Spears.
Was taken to the hospital for the second time this month.
We are told that she's been
Starting with her time as a young starlet on the Mickey Mouse Club, to breaking out as a solo pop megastar. Then came the high-profile lovers, Justin Timberlake, Colin Farrell and Kevin Federline.
Really sweet and very nice.
But perhaps most seared into a lot of people's memories are the chaotic spirals, head shaving, attacking paparazzi with umbrellas and the car crash interviews.
You've had a year that would test a lot of people.
It was pretty rough, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ah, weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strong Britney. Yeah, it was a weird. Ew. I'm embarrassed. Can we?
End the conservatorship now! End the conservatorship now!
More recently was the fight to free Britney from her 13-year conservatorship, every facet of her life ruled by her father. But now she's regained her freedom. And on Wednesday, the famed singer found her voice again, this time with the release of her tell-all book.
This book has been a labor of love and all the emotions that come with it. Reliving everything that you're about to hear has been exciting, heart-wrenching, and emotional, to say the least.
How did you feel reading this book?
I felt heartbroken for her.
Veteran entertainment writer Leah Greenblatt reviewed Britney's book, The Woman in Me, for the New York Times, a memoir littered with sad reflections on a tormented life. Revelations include that her mother introduced her to alcohol at just 13. The pop star's father would starve her, that boyfriends like Justin Timberlake would cheat on her, and even worse.
That was an offer. Women are so ambiguous.
We're not.
Was there anything in particular in the book that stopped you in your tracks?
I think probably the fact that she got an abortion at age 19. Obviously, Justin Timberlake at the time, they were both huge stars, but very young. She said the choice was really his, and she felt that she had to go along. She had to do it at home, and it turned out to be really painful. She talks about spending hours crying and sobbing on the bathroom floor while Justin strummed his guitar to make her feel better.
But when it comes to Britney's high-profile exes, it's the father of her two children, Kevin Federline, who comes in for the most criticism.
Another villain in the book absolutely is Kevin Federline.
Hi! Kevin, we have to ask you a
He
question.
just comes off as an opportunivore, a guy who wanted to get famous, a guy who sort of immediately turned on her. As soon as she basically married him and started having his children, he left her behind and in fact had security guards that she was paying for not allow her into the studio while he was trying to become a successful rapper and doing magazine covers and being called Father of the Year. you know, in different magazines because he deigned to show up and, you know, carry his kids in a couple paparazzi shots.
I mean, the whole thing is just so nauseating. It's just, it's truly awful. And I hope that it doesn't happen to anyone again.
As her former tour manager, Dan George was front and centre for the Britney show. So what was Britney like to work with?
She was just, Britney was such a sweetheart. She was just so endearing and so kind and funny, quirky. She always made me laugh. And she was a little bit mischievous.
The kindness that you mentioned, do you think that's something that in the end some people saw as a gentle nature that could be exploited?
Oh, absolutely. I think she was exploited. I think without a doubt. And as long as those people keep winning, it's hard for the kind, humble, empathetic among us to come forward and do our part without being shot.
Off the back of numerous dramas in her personal life, including this infamous performance at the VMAs in 2007, Britney's father, Jamie Spears, was granted a conservatorship over his daughter, a guardianship he then set about exploiting for more than a decade.
And it is very true. Jamie Spears would walk around saying, as far as the state of California is concerned, I am Britney Spears. So it kind of went to his head. She could not spend her own money. She couldn't choose who she wanted to hang out with. She was under constant surveillance.
They would take away privileges. They would take away seeing her sons. Her circus tour had made $130 million. She got $15 million to do the X Factor, and she was not allowed to have more than $2,000 a week.
Well, let's see. I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years. It's a really long time to be in a situation you don't want to be in.
After a groundswell of public support, Britney Spears managed to get a California court to overturn the conservatorship in 2021. And when that happened, the true extent of the way she'd been treated in the early years, dismissed as an airheaded sex symbol, was laid bare.
Am I a virgin? Yes, I am a virgin, and I definitely want to try and have sex till I'm married. I just want to wait for that special someone, so.
I mean, this is only 15 years ago. It's so weird to look back and think that a young woman's virginity was so openly discussed.
She would go on talk shows when she was 16 years old, and they would obsessively talk about her breasts to her face.
Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breasts.
Gross. It's gross. And it's very recent. Yeah. And I'm sure there's things we do now that we'll look back on the same way. But it is shocking to think that we all, in some ways, colluded in this kind of behavior. Kind of the whole world let her down. More specifically, her family and her team. But we all kind of watched this happen in slow motion, essentially, over many years. And it was kind of a punchline for a lot of people. And there was a lot of real suffering behind it.
Britney's state is still clearly fragile. She's done no live interviews to promote her new book, but hers is a story that, unfortunately, sells itself. There are many people out there, from fans to former colleagues, who simply want to see one ending, and that is for Britney Spears to be happy. What do you hope the future holds for Britney Spears?
For Britney, I wish freedom and love and family and normalcy.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thank you for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes, which are on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.